I'm Stefa, and I have always been an avid user of social media. One day, as I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, a particular account caught my eye, the account of a renowned celebrity named Damien Edge. He was a mesmerizing actor known for his enigmatic roles and charming looks. I couldn't resist following him, and soon I found myself hanging on his every tweet, eagerly awaiting each new post. As time passed, my admiration for Damien grew stronger. His tweets became a source of joy and excitement for me, and I found solace in his virtual presence. I wasn't alone. Damien had amassed a massive following, and his follower count was about to hit 2 million. To celebrate this milestone, he announced an exclusive party for his followers, an intimate gathering at a luxurious mansion. My heart raced with excitement as I read the tweet. The possibility of meeting Damien in person was a dream I had never dared to entertain, but now it seemed like that dream was within reach. Gathering my courage, I clicked on the link he provided to RSVP for the party. The night of the party arrived, and I found myself standing outside the opulent mansion where the event was taking place. The mansion stood surrounded by tall, imposing trees that cast eerie shadows in the moonlight. A chill ran down my spine, but my excitement overshadowed any feelings of unease. I stepped inside, the sound of my footsteps echoing in the grand foyer. The party was in full swing. Glistening chandeliers bathed the rooms in a warm, golden glow. Celebrities and fans mingled, their laughter and chatter filling the air. My heart pounded with anticipation as I scanned the room for a glimpse of Damien. And then I saw him, standing near a large fireplace, his charisma radiating like a magnetic field. I couldn't believe my luck when Damien's gaze met mine. He smiled, a smile that could melt hearts and put stars to shame. My cheeks flushed, and I returned the smile, feeling an odd connection that transcended our virtual interactions. As I navigated through the crowd, inching closer to Damien, I couldn't shake off the sensation that something was amiss. Suddenly the lights flickered, plunging the room into darkness for a split second. Gasps and nervous laughter rippled through the attendees. When the lights came back on, I found myself standing right in front of Damien. He extended a hand, his eyes fixated on mine. "Stefa, isn't it?" he said, his voice smooth as velvet. I nodded, my heart racing faster than ever. "Yes, Damien. I'm a huge fan," I managed to reply, my voice quivering with excitement. "Thank you for coming, Stefa. I've been looking forward to meeting you," he said, his gaze unwavering. It was as though he could see into the depths of my soul. As we conversed, I realized that Damien wasn't just charming on social media. He was charismatic and engaging in person as well. But beneath his captivating demeanor, there was something odd. His eyes seemed to change color, shifting from a warm brown to an icy blue, almost as if they were reflecting the moonlight filtering through the windows. As the night wore on, I found myself drawn deeper into Damien's spell. We talked about various topics, but his questions felt oddly probing, almost invasive. He asked about my fears, my desires, and my most intimate thoughts. It was as though he was trying to unravel the very fabric of my being. I excused myself to get some fresh air, my mind swirling with a mix of fascination and unease. I stepped out onto the mansion's balcony, the cool night air providing a welcome relief. But that relief was short-lived when I saw something that froze my blood. In the distance, I spotted a group of figures standing beneath the trees. They were cloaked in shadows, their eyes gleaming like feral animals in the dark. The sight sent a shiver down my spine, and I quickly turned to re-enter the mansion. But Damien was already there, blocking my path. His charming smile had transformed into a sinister grin. "You're different, Stefa. Special," he hissed, his voice no longer smooth and enchanting. My heart pounded with fear as I backed away. "What do you mean?" He stepped closer, his eyes now completely blue, devoid of any humanity. "I feed on the admiration of my followers, Stefa. It's what keeps me alive, what sustains me." My mind raced, piecing together the puzzle. The eerie shadows, the probing questions, the uncanny changes in his appearance. Damien wasn't just a celebrity, he was something else entirely. You're not human, I stammered, my voice trembling. Damien laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the corridor. Oh, I'm human enough, Stefa, just not in the way you understand it. Panicking, I turned to flee, but the mansion seemed to twist and contort around me, its corridors stretching endlessly, trapping me in a nightmarish maze. Desperation gripped me as I realized I was trapped with this monstrous entity. As Damien closed in, his true form became evident. A creature of shadows indeed, a predator feeding on the adoration of his followers. My screams went unheard amidst the cacophony of the party, a celebration that masked the horror unfolding within the mansion's walls. And so, the girl who had admired a famous person on Twitter found herself ensnared in a web of deceit and terror. The party raged on, the attendees oblivious to the nightmare that had befallen Stefa. The mansion stood tall, facade of opulence concealing the darkness that hungered within, ready to feast on the unsuspecting souls drawn to its allure. As Damien closed in, his true form became evident. A creature of shadows indeed, a predator feeding on the adoration of his followers. My screams went unheard amidst the cacophony of the party, a celebration that masked the horror unfolding within the mansion's walls. And so, the girl who had admired a famous person on Twitter found herself ensnared in a web of deceit and terror. The party raged on, the attendees oblivious to the nightmare that had befallen Stefa. The mansion stood tall, facade of opulence concealing the darkness that hungered within, ready to feast on the unsuspecting souls drawn to its allure. One night, as the moon hung low in the sky and darkness blanketed the world, I found myself engrossed in the endless scroll of Twitter. My tired eyes roved over the various posts and memes until something caught my attention. A tweet that seemed to stand out from the rest. Do you want to get a job with a monthly salary of $10,000? DM for details. Serious inquiries only. My heart skipped a beat as I read those words. $10,000 a month? That was a figure that seemed too good to be true. Skepticism gnawed at the corners of my mind, but a flicker of curiosity burned brighter. What kind of job could possibly offer such a sum? The allure was irresistible. As I stared at the tweet, my cursor hovered over the DM button. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, I clicked it, sending a message to the mysterious account behind the offer. The seconds ticked by like hours as I waited for a response. Hello there. I'm interested in the job opportunity you mentioned. Can you please provide me with more details? Minutes passed, and I was on the brink of dismissing the whole thing as a hoax when a notification finally appeared. My heart raced as I opened the message. Greetings. We're glad you're interested. We have a unique position that requires dedication and secrecy. Meet us at the abandoned warehouse on Elm Street at midnight. Come alone. A shiver ran down my spine as I read the message. The combination of a hefty paycheck and a rendezvous at an abandoned warehouse in the dead of night was an unsettling proposition. Yet my curiosity refused to be silenced. I mulled over the decision, battling my instincts until midnight drew near. When the time came, I found myself parked on a dimly lit street, my car engine humming softly in the silence. The warehouse loomed before me, a decrepit monolith with shattered windows and faded walls. The air was thick with tension as I stepped out of my car and approached the entrance. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit interior. The feeble light cast eerie shadows that danced across the walls, and the air was heavy with the scent of dampness and decay. My heart pounded in my chest, but the promise of that substantial salary propelled me forward. "Hello?" I called out tentatively, my voice swallowed by the cavernous space. There was no response, just an echoing silence that made my skin crawl. But I couldn't turn back now. I ventured deeper into the warehouse, my footsteps echoing off the cold concrete floor. As I navigated through the labyrinthine passages, an unsettling feeling settled over me, a sensation of being watched, of unseen eyes tracking my every move. Finally, I reached a small room at the heart of the warehouse. Dim light filtered in through a grimy window, revealing a desk adorned with a single flickering candle. Behind the desk sat a figure cloaked in shadows, their features obscured. "Sit," the figure's voice rasped, sending a chill down my spine. I complied, my eyes fixed on the silhouette before me. The figure leaned forward, revealing a face shrouded in darkness. "You seek riches, do you not?" it hissed. I nodded, my mouth suddenly dry. "Yes, I do." "Very well," the figure intoned. "But understand this, the riches we offer come at a price. You must perform tasks that others dare not, in the name of power beyond your wildest dreams." Unease gnawed at me, but the intoxicating allure of wealth clouded my judgment. "What kind of tasks?" I managed to ask. "Dark tasks, ones that test your loyalty and resolve," the figure replied. "Fail, and the consequences will be dire." Before I could respond, the figure slid a contract across the desk. Without thinking, I picked up the quill next to it and signed my name in shaky letters. As I did, a sensation of foreboding settled over me, as if I had just sealed my fate. With the contract signed, the figure leaned back, a macabre smile curling at the edges of its lips. "Welcome to your new life," it whispered. Over the following weeks, I found myself embroiled in a series of increasingly unsettling tasks. Each one tested the limits of my morality and sanity, pushing me further into a world of darkness I had never imagined. As the moon waxed and waned, I realized that the promise of wealth had ensnared me in a nightmare from which there was no escape. Sleep became elusive, replaced by haunting visions and the feeling of being constantly watched. Shadows seemed to twist and contort, and whispers echoed in the corners of my mind. Paranoia became my constant companion, as I questioned the motives of everyone around me. One fateful night, as I stood at the precipice of yet another sinister assignment, I finally saw through the haze of promises and illusions. The riches were a facade, a cruel trap set by forces beyond my comprehension. With a surge of determination, I refused to carry out the task, severing the hold the figure had over me. But breaking free came at a cost. The shadows that had haunted me grew stronger, their whispers transforming into guttural growls. The figure's presence loomed larger, its anger palpable. As the warehouse walls closed in around me, I realized the truth. The darkness had claimed me, body and soul. And now, as I sit in the heart of this abandoned warehouse, my mind shattered and my sanity hanging by a thread, I pen this warning. Beware the allure of wealth and promises too good to be true, for in the depths of darkness, there are entities that feed on the desperation of souls like mine. If you ever chance upon a tweet promising riches beyond measure, heed my tale as a cautionary reminder. The nightmarish forces that lie beneath the surface are not to be trifled with, and the price of ambition may be higher than you could ever imagine.